This is a very practical session. I'll be asking for volunteers to speak, and I'm going to ask you to turn on your cameras because we need to see how you're doing these activities. I hope Uno dress up nice. Uno dress nice? Tamsin, how you looking? Miss Bailey?
Hi. Good afternoon.
Make me see you now.
Lord.
Yeah, this is a session for camera because we have to see how Uno doing with eye contact and something there. So great, not too bad at all. Nice to see you. So folks, we're in for a lovely time. Practice, practice, practice. So Tamsin, you have to angle that chair, that camera or something because you're not center, right? So fix it up, fix it up. So here's what we enter, and I'm going to share my screen. Check how you're positioning with your camera, Tamsin, right? Check all them lighting and thing, right? So here is what we're doing. Good. Tamsin, yes, angle it. Make sure your forehead cutting off a little bit and things so. All right. So great.
You.
Check. Nice, nicely. Almost there, Tamsin. Almost there. So Tamsin, right. So you're gonna start us off. We're talking about enunciation.
Madonna, right? You're in edit view, not presentation view yet.
Ooh. Better?
Great.
Ah, brilliant. Okay. Tamsin. So you're muted. I'm gonna ask you when I want to talk to unmute, right? So you're almost there. So now, this Caribbean is a rich area, and we have so many dialects and so many versions of English and Spanish and French and so on. But we tend to be what we call a little lazy in our speaking. So we have to look at our word endings. We've got to look at our S's and D's and THs. So Tamsin, first victim. Have you ever heard this? Look at the eyes. You're speaking quite powerfully with your eyes. So Tamsin, do you have a challenge with TH sounds?
No.
Oh, brilliant. So just one sentence, and let me hear you with your TH sounds. This and that met for a chat.
Repeat, please.
This and that met for a chat.
This and that met for a chat.
Heavy on the T. Okay. So in enunciation, as Caribbean speakers, we have to be mindful of some things, our TH sounds, our Ds, and our S's particularly, so that we have to do some extra work, particularly if you have an audience where that may be comprised of English and non-English speakers, right? So because sometimes when we say, for example, as Trinidadians, we tend to say tree instead of three. So you can imagine the audience rolling their eyes, right? Just like how you did, right, Tamsin? So the second sentence, this was thin, and that was fat. That's
this
it.
was thin and that was fat.
Okay. So work some more on the THs because it sounded in my ears as D. So it's a tongue between the teeth.
This was thin and that was fat.
Right. That's what we're talking about. So our enunciation, and Elron had mentioned earlier that we need to spend some mirror time. And I would highly recommend the International Phonetic Alphabet because it identifies even how we need to shape the jaw, the lips to get the correct sound out, right? So that's a takeaway, the IPA, and do some mirror work. Right. Thank you very much, Tamsin. Let's see. Now, so we're looking here. So the IPA is your guide. Talk at the mirror and watch the movements of your mouth, jaw, tongue, and lips. Some of Uno ladies figure the lips is for lipstick, but it's for really helping us enunciate better. Not just for lipstick, but correct enunciation, all right? So let's look at expression, and I'm asking you to be mindful because later on in my session with you in the next few minutes, I'll be asking us to practice these. So we want to see your energy, we want to see your enthusiasm, and you need to be direct. So we're looking for energy and enthusiasm and how direct you are in your connection with your interviewer and how you confront or respond to the questions, right? So we're looking for energy and enthusiasm. Please take note. Now avoid long pauses. Now you have dramatic pauses. You can pause for emphasis, but when there's a pause for uncertainty, the audience picks it up. So this is something to watch, how long you pause before you answer, and also watch for being boring, which is being monotonal. And those two cues, the unduly long pause and the monotonality, being monotone, will communicate to your audience that you really don't know what you're about, you're indecisive, and you're not sincere. So later on in a couple of exercises, I'm going to ask you to demonstrate enthusiasm, energy, and how you manage your pausing. Okay. Not only you, Tamsin, others have to jump in. Don't feel you're alone being spotlighted today. So let me let you off the hook, right? So now our in these interviews, a way of expressing our confidence without even saying a word is that eye contact. Now that is interesting because it's a little struggle too, because with the online interviews, you know, the camera tends to be a little higher, like my camera is higher, and then you have to watch your notes and so on. So be guided. I think the practice sessions are very useful. So your eye contact with your interviewer. Now, if you're going into the studio, they will direct you as to, you know, which camera and so on. So be mindful of the eye contact. Be friendly and courteous. So Tamsin's smiling was, you know, very nice. It communicate that kind of warmth, right? And your gestures. And I think one of the videos that Caroline asked you to look at speaks to the use of gestures. So your hand gestures. Now again, we do, and Aaron spoke about that. We do speak with our hands as Caribbean speakers. But in the online space, it may be seen, or depending on your distance from the camera, it may be amplified. So for example, you know, your hand may be all up in the air and so on, but the gestures need to be small and in front of you. Now, if you have a professional setup where they may be using a couple of cameras and they can properly distance you from the camera, then the hand gestures would be much more obvious, right? So smiling is important. Even when there's an audio only interview, your smile communicates. Nice, Tamlin, you're better centered. Nice, you get help and notice. Smile when you talk, it will help your voice to sound more relaxed. And of course, it's okay to lean forward. You know, sometimes you get very excited. Sonia had to tell me when I get excited, I lean forward and the chin cut off and so on. But as Caribbean people, you know, with the energy and the enthusiasm, it is okay to lean forward, but be mindful of whether, you know, you're cutting off the neck and what the general look of the image, right? So it's okay, lean forward slightly. Now, when we speak about modulation, I'm asking you to modulate stress, which is the weight that we put on particular words. Your pacing, you can modulate the speed at which you speak for emphasis, and of course your pausing, and tone, of course. So modulation, again, conveys enthusiasm, passion, confidence, right? When you modulate your stress, be mindful of that, which is the weight you're going to put on particular words or word clusters. Modulate your pace, your pausing, and modulate your tone, right? Right. So let me ask, now here's what. So Sonia, please put in the chat, there's a quote I'm going to ask you to restate using 5 guidelines. We want to look for energy, enthusiasm, your pausing, your eye contact. And I'm going to ask a question. So I have basically about 3 exercises. And may I get a volunteer, or I'll volunteer you. Randicia, you're here, so let's hear from you. And I'm going to ask also from Belize, Fenton, you're here. So there's a statement that Sonia would have just posted in the chat. I'm asking you, please, can you restate that? And you're going to restate that opening statement demonstrating enthusiasm and energy, how you pause, your eye contact, right? 5 skills, your pausing, your pacing, right? Ready? So let's see, have you gotten this statement? Yes. Enunciation, energy, pausing, smiling, and eye contact. So, Randicia, so turn on your camera and let's see. Look at the statement. And please get ready, Fenton. Get ready, Fenton. Great.
Okay, you're ready for me?
Almost. Check your camera. Your head is cut off a wee bit. Yeah, almost there. Yeah, man. Okay, stay right there. The chin. Yeah, we get it too. So, oh, beautiful. Love the background. Go ahead, Randicia.
Appeals from the decisions of the Magistrates Court to the Supreme Court are pivotal in the administration of justice. When a person knows that if they are dissatisfied with a decision of a magistrate and they can appeal to a higher court, this inspires confidence in the justice system and the rule of law. It is therefore very important that all citizens have access to an appeal process that is simple, cost-effective, and user-friendly.
That's a good dry run. Do it again. So here's what? Nice, nice. I get the warmth. I get the smile. Very nice. And you know, you sound like a Trinidadian. They say, international people say we sing when we talk. So that was nice, beautiful. Just moderate your pausing a bit, slow down a bit, and just somebody's.
Hi, Madonna. Can I suggest for the activity we stop share so that the participants' full view is there?
Oh,
and then you quickly share when you start back.
Okay. Thank you, Caroline. So go ahead, Randicia, and get ready. I think Fenton, is it? Great. Go ahead.
Appeals from the decisions of the Magistrates Court to the Supreme Court are pivotal in the administration of justice. When a person knows that if they're dissatisfied with a decision of a magistrate and they can appeal to a higher court, this inspires confidence in the justice system and the rule of law. It is therefore very important that all citizens have access to an appeal process that is simple, cost-effective, and user-friendly.
Perfect. You're pausing. Brilliant. The word emphasis, some stress on some words you've identified. You stress them for meaning, and you stress the word dissatisfied, for example, and confidence. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wheel and come again. Fenton. Fenton, are you ready? I know I saw Fenton here. Yes, Fenton Ross. Are you getting ready, Fenton? Okay. So maybe he's engaged otherwise. Okay. Can we get Alicia Guyana? Just turn on your camera, please, Alicia. Nice. Okay, so your head cut off a wee bit. Just check your distance. Nice. Center yourself. Okay, I'm seeing full face. Aye, nice. Okay, great. Chin too close to the edge, but let's go. Let's hear you.
I'm reading.
You're muted. Oh, better, yeah, better now.
What am I required to read, Madonna? I'm not seeing anything.
You saw it in the chat, the statement that starts appeals from the court decisions.
Okay, so I start from the top.
Some from appeals.
Appeals from the decisions of the Magistrates Court to the Supreme Court are pivotal in the administration of justice. When a person knows that if they are dissatisfied with the decision of a magistrate and they can appeal to a higher court, this inspires confidence in the justice system and the rule of law. It is therefore very important that all citizens have access to an appeal process that is simple, cost-effective, and user-friendly.
So that's your dry run. So let's look at the stress. We want some energy, enthusiasm, great, you're pausing, and emphasize some key words that will resonate with the listeners and the viewers. Your positioning, now let's adjust this a wee bit because your chin was being cut off there. I know you're looking at, you needed to see the quote, right? So are you ready? And energy, enthusiasm, pausing, vary your pace, and emphasize some words for impact. 3, go.
Appeals on the decisions of the Magistrates Court to the Supreme Court are pivotal in the administration of justice. When a person knows that if they are dissatisfied with the decision of a magistrate and they can appeal to a higher court, this inspires confidence in the justice system and the rule of law. It is therefore very important that all citizens have access to an appeal process that is simple, cost-effective, and user-friendly.
Great, let me ask one of your colleagues to give you feedback. Great, Ria, give Alicia some feedback on her presentation, please. Bearing in mind the 5 things that we're looking for: enthusiasm, energy, pausing, smiling.
Hi,
Yeah.
good afternoon, Madonna.
Yes, dear.
Okay, you're putting me in the hot seat now. So, Alicia, please no. Please, Alicia, well, let me just first say that I think you're too close up to the camera.
Okay.
So your face is, it's too much to the camera. So yeah, so it may be a little bit distracting.
Okay.
So that's one. You appear to be reading, so you may not get that impact, that connection you need with the audience.
Mhm.
So that maybe you just need to digest that information and come again with it. Just, take in the what you want to say and say it in your own, give your own delivery. I think that's too immediate for now. I think that the
Could you
camera.
comment on her smiling? Did it convey?
Mhm.
I think her demeanor is quite lovely. I think it's quite her. She's, I no comment on that because it's quite, it's comfortable. I'm comfortable with her. So I think I'm just highlighting the 2 constructive elements that may make it much better.
Right. Thank you. And a smile communicates even when you're just having an audio only interview. Thank you very much, Ria. Thank you so very much, Alicia.